Hi YouTube, this is Chrysanthemum. I'm trying to find a light. Some type of light. Okay, that's better. This is Chrysanthemum. This video is about I'm in Atlanta now, everybody knows, and it's about black people. I guess I do probably really judge a lot of these black people down here because they talk like they have marbles in their mouth, and some people say they have degrees, but it seems like they can't even form a regular sentence when they speak. They don't put verbs or nouns. I don't know what they talk about half the time. Anyway, this video is about that subject because I was listening to talk radio this morning, 1380 AOK, WAOK, I'm finna say 1380 K-Day, because that was a radio station we used to have in LA. Anyway, and so this is a black lady that has a show from 6 to 10, I think. So people are calling in because they're mad about Dr. Dre giving $35 million to USC. But my number one thing is this. It's his money. He could do whatever the hell he wants to do with his money. You didn't raise the money for him. And why should he give it to a historically black college? Because to be totally honest, most of us in California, we don't give no shit about no historically black college. If your child goes to school, they're going to go to school wherever you can afford for them to go to school. Or they're going to go to a junior college. Or they won't go to college and they'll end up working and maybe going a little bit later in life. Dr. Dre giving $35 million to USC. USC probably does need the money. If you know anything about USC, it's in the fucking ghetto of LA. It's in the 50s. Wait, no. It's lower than the 50s. It's in the 30s because it's next to 32nd Street Market. It's in the 30s, and like all those houses there, or those houses had to be built like in the early 1900s. It sits right in the middle of a neighborhood. It has a little shopping center by it, but people send their kids to USC from all over the world because it's a private school. So they only get funded from like parents. So they probably needed the money, and he did it in a collaboration with another person that's a producer. You have to realize, people that are from the West Coast, we have a different mindset. First of all, Dr. Dre, just because you know that he was in NWA and he started out in NWA, Dr. Dre never lived in the ghetto. Dr. Dre have always lived in the valley where more upper class, more higher end income people lived. Dr. Dre never lived in Compton. Dr. Dre didn't live in Watts. He didn't live in poorer parts of LA. He lived in the valley. You don't even know, maybe Dr. Dre's daughter or son might have graduated from USC. People out here are on the radio talking about he should have gave it to a historically black college. Well, I would never send nobody I know to a historically black college, because if it produces what I see out here in Atlanta, that's a waste of your goddamn money. Most of the people out here can't even speak proper English, and they say they have master's degrees, and they say they have bachelor's degrees. Most of them don't even work in their field out here. They do menial jobs, and because the market is so saturated with people with degrees out here, you're getting paid $10 an hour, $11 an hour for a job that if you were in another state and had a degree, you would get paid 3 times, 4 times that amount an hour. So I don't understand why black people out here are getting so upset, calling in on the radio, talking about Dr. Dre when you really don't even know anything about Dr. Dre. You're talking about Dr. Dre because he gave $35 million to USC. Hell, that's his home state. Why the hell wouldn't he give it to a college that's in his home state? We don't have any black colleges in California. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with black colleges, but we just don't have anything like that out there. And it's not just, I think black people in California, and I mean, we believe in, if you have black owned stores, we would, like for you to patronize. Black owned business, we would like for you to patronize. But at the end of the day, we're going to go for whatever's the cheapest, whatever's the best quality. We're going to work for whoever is really paying good money and have the better benefit package. I'm just talking about us in California. I'm just talking about how it goes down just from what I know from my life experience of being a Californian. Now I live down south where I live in depression. But I live here because, like you all know, the house was $30,000 cash, and it's a nice house. I'm sitting on a half an acre. I could never get that in California, and I could never work for the type of money I get paid now. Like, I'm working like the same type of money I used to make when I was in high school. When I worked at Burger King in high school on King and Western, I make the same type of money. At 1984 Olympics, I make the same type of money right now that I made way back then. I could never survive on that living in California because the housing is so high. Anyway, I'm just telling you from my perspective. So when people write me on YouTube saying that we're sellouts in California, which we're not, but I really feel like Dr. Dre could do whatever the hell he wants to do with his money, just like I could do whatever the hell I want to do with my money, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do with your money. Dr. Dre could do whatever the hell he wants to do with his money. It obviously, maybe it was a good reason for him giving the $35 million to USC. I really believe maybe USC needed money. Maybe they're short on money right now. You don't know, because it's a private school. It's not a public school. It's not getting funding from California. It's a private school. So maybe he gave the money because, you don't know, maybe buildings needed to be retrofitted. You don't know what could have been going on at the school at the time when they were soliciting to get donations for the school. And then the other thing is, people are mad at Barack Obama for what they feel like is him talking down to black people. But once again, my life experience from my parents made you it in Charles Glenn. May and Charles Glenn, whatever. Anyway, my life experience has always been this. The same as what he was saying. Don't go out and have kids out of wedlock, even though I ended up doing that. Go and get you an education. Even though I did not do that, I did what my mother said. If you don't get you an education, get you a skill under your belt. So I have a Class A license with a passenger endorsement. Okay, so get something. I've been doing this job for 25 years. I've never went without a job because I don't take drugs and I don't drink. So I've always been able to get a job. And so my thing is, Barack Obama telling people, not to have kids out of wedlock. They're saying that he said, I didn't see the speech. I don't really care, because it probably would be just like a lecture that I get from my dad. I don't know. I mean, I just get so mad with black people out here because the things that you worry about are trivial to me because of the way I was raised and because of the way the mindset from where I come from. And the things that you need to be worried about, like a grown-ass man don't know how to drive a fucking car. What the fuck is that? I have never seen that before in my life till I moved here. Grown people really riding a bus. I've never really seen that till I moved here, because like everybody gets a fucking car. When you get in high school, you go get a car, or your parents buy you a car. So I don't know what that is. Living in apartments your whole entire life. Your mama lived in an apartment. Your grandparents. I never saw that before, because almost everybody on both sides of my family, maternal and paternal, own property. Kids own property. Nieces, nephews own property. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know how to live like that. So I think that the reason why I get so upset when these black people out here get upset is because of the fact that your life is so fucked up. You don't even understand, and you don't understand that you're thinking on a level that is so low that you don't even know that you're on that level. Sometimes when I talk to people, since I've moved here and since I bought the house, sometimes when I talk to people, they can't respond to me because I'm always talking about the next house, I'm always talking about the next thing to do for this house, the next house I want to buy, my plans and things. I'm keeping it on my tongue all the time so it comes to fruition. But a lot of people, they can't get with what I'm talking about, so that's why I don't have any friends out here. I have no friends. I have one person that I talk to on a regular basis, and that's because we go walking together. But I really truly don't have any friends here. Definitely, I could never have a woman friend out here because these bitches out here, the shit they think about, it's not even on my fucking radar. I'm thinking about making money. I'm thinking about moving on to the next. I'm not thinking about no nigga. I'm not thinking about no man. I'm not thinking about the latest clothes. I'm not thinking about going to no goddamn club and no goddamn 46 years old. These bitches be older than me talking about a fucking club. I hear them and I'm just always shaking my head like, damn, it is, you talking about a club but your car you got ball tires on your car. Wow. Or you riding the bus every day. Who the fuck does that? I don't even know people that do. It's like, it's not that I feel like I'm better. It's just that I don't know people who do that because I didn't grow up like that. The people I hung around in LA were not like that. The people I went to high school with were not like that. It's just, California is just a little bit different. So I'm not saying we're the best state, but we just have things just like the people I hung around and the people I was in like the crowds with, we just had a little bit more. And just the mere fact that people are getting mad with Obama about the things that he was saying, to me it's so stupid because to me he was just telling you just off the bat, you know, I've just been listening to what people have been saying, and he said people are getting mad because he said to reach back and grab somebody else. If you see somebody else is slacking on their school, and reach back and tell them, you know, get it together, go on and do your thing so you can graduate. That's how I feel about people out here. I'm always encouraging people out here who don't have the commercial license to go. If you're driving the bus at my job already, why not go study and take the test? And then the money that I make when I'm not driving the shuttle, when I drive the shuttle, it's high school money. But when I drive a tour bus, it's not high school money. So I need to stop saying the high school money, because when I drive a tour bus, it's definitely not high school money. Because this job I just took a drug test for, that's gonna be $500 every 2 days. So it's not that ain't high school money, but whatever. I just give that as an example because when I drive that shuttle, that is like when I was working at Burger King. But I always encourage people, if you're gonna drive a bus, a shuttle bus, why not go and study, take the test, and get your license? What is so hard about taking the extra effort every day, reading a book? What is so hard about taking your little bit of money, going down to the DMV, paying for the test, passing the test, getting a job to give you a bus, learning how to walk around the bus, learning how to do the brake test, learning how to drive the bus? What is so hard about that? Because then you bump up your money. You bump up your money, your earning potential for the rest of your life. You bump it up. But these people are such slaves in the mind. They like to take the little crumbs and pennies and beg and plead for stuff. And I just don't do that. So I don't know. I don't want to say it's all people in California, because it is some bummy ass people in California. But for the most part, the people I hung out with and the people that were in my life, they weren't like that. So I don't understand why people get mad at this boy, at this man for giving $35 million to USC. Hell, that's his home state. He gonna give where he want to give. That's his money. And getting mad at Barack Obama for telling people the things they should be doing now and saying there's no more excuses. Well, hell, actually, if you got a goddamn degree, you shouldn't have no excuse for you making it in the world. You should take your time and go out there and find you a job. You don't have to be in Georgia for the rest of your life. Take your ass somewhere where they paying some good money. I don't know. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And, you know, if you have a problem with what I'm saying, then that's your problem. Because I know what I'm saying is right in my mind. And I know the last time that I went to counseling, they didn't tell me that I was crazy. I might have had a few problems, but they didn't say that my black ass was crazy. So, peace. Do whatever.